Lo que queda de Edith Finch. ¿Y qué queda de Edith Finch? Bueno, queda su casa familiar, donde están todas las historias de cómo murieron los otros miembros de la familia. Y eso es lo que vamos a buscar, la historia de cada uno de nuestros parientes. Y qué los llevó a la muerte. Es un juego bastante corto según Google, dura unas 2-3 horas. Así que nada, vamos a ver qué onda. Ok, clic, supongo. Edith Finch.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Orcas Islands Gazette.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Ya fue esta casa, creo.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
No había regresado desde el funeral de mi hermano Lewis. Tremendo lugar, igual para tener una casa. En medio del bosque.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Huellas de pezuñas. Agarrar un oso acá. Ah, no, ok, un ciervo.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Semejante casa.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly
17
what those
años.
words were. I was afraid of the house.
Tenía miedo de la casa. Ok. ¿Por qué está acá? El texto tengo que ir acá. Controlar por acá. Ah, ok. Allanamiento de morada.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Está bastante bien para haber estado abandonada 7 años. Bueno, no sé si 7 años. 7 años fue la última vez que la vio. A la casa. No significa que esté abandonada.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Sentía como en casa.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Edith. Ahí está Edith Finch, una nena. Eddie Town Lewis. Bueno, no sé si son los nombres. Bueno, puede ser Lewis. No sé. In loving memory of Lewis Finch. Murió Lewis, el hermano de Edith. Claro, entonces sí, esta es Edith y ese es el hermano. Los dos chicos. La que está narrando la historia es Edith. Una receta.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Trabaja en una fábrica, se ve Lewis. Y le regalaban todo el salmón.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
O al menos comida china, loco. Bueno, supongo que te aburres igual. Yo porque instalé una vez pedidos ya. Tengo 2-3 pizzerías nada más. Hamburguesa hace una por suerte. Pero ahí llegó la variedad. Me encantaría tener comida china. Desastrada desde la noche en que nos marchamos.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Si hubiera estallado una bomba que mató a todos menos los muebles. Ok, entonces sí está abandonada hace 7 años, parece. Nos fuimos por una pelea.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
La mandaron a un asilo la abuela.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
De que se hundiera, la casa original se hundió. Ok. Puede ser que allá... Allá hay unas ruinas de algo, ¿no? Puede ser. O una piedra, no se ve tan bien. Es cierto que está resaturada la casa, pero se ve... No sé, a mí no me da miedo. Se ve bonita, sé yo. ¿Qué es esto? Bárbara. Ah, cierto que manejo yo todo con el mouse.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Ok, Luis abuelo.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ok. Supongo que iremos recorriendo habitaciones, ¿no? Tiene esa pinta. ¿Qué es esto?
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Milton desapareció. Milton Finch.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Agujeros a modo de mirilla. Ok, creo que se traumatizaron todos. ¿Qué es esto? Esta puerta está abierta. Ok, son como habitaciones. Sven y Eddie son los viejos del bisabuelo. Gregory. Ok, entiendo. Voy a ir visitando una habitación a la vez. Ya tenemos la habitación de alguien.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
El tío abuelo Walter.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Ok.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Pasajes secretos.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Ok.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
¿Qué le había tenido miedo a mi madre?
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Milton.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
Ok.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Ah, esta es la habitación que estaba cerrada.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
No quedó nada del carbo ya.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
Eddie. Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Okay. No, el gerbo no.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind
Ah,
it.
ok.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
What the fuck con esta nena. Tanta hambre. Hay un baño.
I kept eating and eating.
The fuck. Dentrífico.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Unas berries.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Era un gato.
I I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Voy a comer este pájaro. ¿Cómo?
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Ni siquiera me miraron.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Casi.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Ok, la atrapó.
Suddenly, I was an owl.
What?
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Un conejo. Atrapado.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Capaz que comió un montón de cosas y se está imaginando todo esto.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What? Ok. Me llevan al agua, por favor. No sé qué tenía el dentrífico, pero...
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now,
Ok, ahora sí.
hungrier than ever.
Una foca.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Fat juicy.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Es la nenita más turbia del mundo.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry.
Lo siento,
Jumped out
foquita.
of the water.
What?
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
¿Qué carajo soy?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Soy un pulpo.
I was big, but I moved real
Ok, por
quiet.
acá. Ok. ¿Qué somos exactamente?
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Quería parar, pero en realidad no. Ok.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Agradable aroma. Ok.
I got closer and closer.
¿Qué es? Es la habitación de ella. Molly.
All my stomach started growling.
Mis estómagos.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
The fuck. Ok.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Molly. Ah, ahí está el gato. Ah, tengo que venir por acá, ok. Claro, porque está en la otra habitación.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Le puso Molly al gatito. En honor a la verdadera Molly. No entendí exactamente cómo murió. La madre la mandó sin comer. Y nada, comió basura. Capaz que murió por eso. Por comer cualquier cosa ahí en la habitación. Y lo demás es toda una alucinación loca.
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Ah, esta es la habitación de la abuela Edie, que estaba ahí en la foto del coso.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but
Louis.
Edie had already started to memorialize
Sabía
him.
pintar la abuela.
Her room was like a museum.
Odin. ¿Qué es esto?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And misfortune.
Misfortune. Más desgracia, ¿no? ¿Cómo es esto?
Odin
Ahí
Finch
está.
buries the latest victims of the family curse. His wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Ah, se ve que mueren todos los Finch, por eso están todos muertos, digamos. Porque es como una maldición familiar.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse
Tu
behind.
casa. Se lleva la casa. Tremendo.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Ok, murió.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Y su bebé Molly. O sea, Molly es bastante vieja, por más que ahí esté toda la imagen de nena. Murió siendo una nena, pero murió hace muchísimo.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Y ya.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Ya cuando empezaron acá a mudarse, Odin murió. Claro, Odin tuvo a Eddie y Walter no sé exactamente si es también. Y después Calvin, Sven, Bárbara... Ok, entiendo. Los Finch.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Eddie se ve que creía cualquier cosa porque...
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Entiendo. Claro, era un tobogán con forma de dragón. Eddie por eso dijo que Eddie le creería a Molly, porque Eddie era un poco fantasioso, supongo.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Aparte, 72 años, se rehúsa a evacuar por un pequeño incendio forestal.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Edith Jr.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
What the fuck con este baño.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Rastro de Kay, la primera esposa, la
It was a pretty big trace.
Fue un rastro muy notorio. Sí. Ah, ok. Está embarazada. Recién me doy cuenta. Hay un secreto en este baño por Sven y Edith Finch. A ver.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ok. ¿The fuck con esta familia?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Fort Calvin. El fuerte Calvin. Calvin y Sam.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin,
Ah, el abuelo Sam.
and that he never talked about him.
Y nunca hablaba de él, de Calvin, digamos. Esta habitación tiene 1.000.000 de años.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Calvin murió.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Ok.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
Funeral de Bárbara.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Qué detalle que cambia la letra de blanco a negro.
Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Fuck.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt.
What the fuck?
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Ok. No tiene muchas vueltas esta muerte. ¿Quién pone la hamaca ahí igual, no?
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Bueno, todos lo pensamos cuando estamos en una hamaca de esas. Como, ¿qué pasaría si doy la vuelta? Pero yo lo pensaba con miedo.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Ah, entiendo. Separó la mitad de Calvin con este cordón. What? Sí. Tremenda la casa.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Esto que es como un atajo, ¿no? Porque esto es para volver a donde yo estaba. A ver. Bigfoot.
Growing up,
Mi amigo
I always
Bigfoot.
thought of Barbara as a child star.
Ah, Bárbara, era una estrella infantil. Tremendo, ganó premios y todo. Bárbara Finch. Tenía una muñeca de ella, la lonchera clásica. Dreadful Stories.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Escribieron historias sobre la muerte de Bárbara. El final sorpresa de Bárbara y Finch. ¿No es un poco de mal gusto?
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale.
Está ahí arriba el texto por si alguno no se dio cuenta.
America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream.
Ah, era de
Now
esas.
at 16,
Las Scream
she was
Queens.
all washed up.
Como la de
a
Psicosis.
has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
No podía gritar. What the fuck?
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
her biggest fan and
Su mayor fan y su novio.
Rick was about to demonstrate when...
What?
Now that was a great scream.
Eso sí es
was
un gran grito.
Barbara's father, Sven.
Sven.
He'd slipped into a table saw and had
No.
to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter.
Cuidando de Walter,
Her
su hermano
convention
pequeño.
comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right!
Okay.
Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding
Ok, ya sabemos
and
cómo abrirlo.
winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look
Entró a la casa la banda de
right
loquitos.
on cue. She reached for the music box,
Bueno, esto es una historia que escribieron sobre la muerte de Bárbara, así que es una metáfora.
and as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
La música de Halloween. De John Carpenter.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ok. Ah, puedo pegar. Bien. Decía que esto es como una recreación sobre la muerte de ella, una historia. Pero supongo que tiene que tener algo de verdad, porque si no, no sabríamos nunca qué le pasó.
Leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Ok, quizás era una banda normal la que entró a la casa. O algo. Acá está la sierra del padre.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Cuidado,
Oh dear!
Toma.
Oh!
Rick?
Rick.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
Eso.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Algo de él para
Barb.
recordar. Ah, la
See,
muleta.
see my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter?
Ah, cierto,
What's
Walter.
going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Cuidado. Tenemos la muleta increíble. The fuck. ¿Es acá? Ah, acá es.
Walter, are you there?
Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman,
El hombre del gancho.
was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Toma.
And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Por acá.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Salimos por acá.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Toma.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Todavía no. No va a estar el cuerpo. La de siempre. Ahí está.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Timbre.
At the door, she heard whispering.
Susurros.
From inside the house.
¿Cómo que de adentro de la casa? Ah, es la pandilla. ¿Qué?
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen.
¿Qué?
She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time.
¿Por qué no hablaste, pibe?
Pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
What the fuck?
Now that's what I call a real ear eating.
Ok, ¿habrá entrado gente a la casa y la habrá matado? Tranquilo. Supongo que la asesinaron en la casa.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Turbio, igual que hagan historias así sobre la muerte de una persona real, pero bueno. Ok, vamos al sótano.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Supongo que hay que darle mucha cuerda o algo. Ahí está. Sótano común y corriente. ¿Qué hace esto funcionando? Está abandonada esta casa. El coso donde se cortó la mano. ¿Se ven?
Unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Acá estaba diseñando el tobogán ese, dragón.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
La abuela.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Poniendo regalos.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
The fuck? Se ve nada.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Walter.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Ah, el nene que estaba cuidando a Bárbara.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Se escondió acá Walter después de que muera Bárbara. Ah, llegó a viejo al menos. Adiós a todos.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 años se quedó encerrado en un búnker.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Ok, empezó normal, supongo.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I was expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Ok. O sea, se metió normalmente y después que no lo pudieron sacar, le traen comida acá.
The other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Okay.
And then one day, everything just...
Claro, después de pasar eso, lo que sea que pasaba, los temblores.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
30 años acá.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave, while I still can.
Tengo que marcharme mientras pueda hacerlo.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
Ahí afuera en algún lugar.
Whatever killed Barbara.
Lo que mató a Bárbara.
And Molly. And Calvin.
Que habla de la maldición que mata a los familiares.
Maybe this is all a mistake.
Quizás todo esto sea un error.
But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Voy a valorarlo todo, especialmente la
I don't
comida.
mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day.
Escapar de la
I can
rutina.
already imagine the sun on my face.
Ok. Bueno, 2005.
Father died when I was 6.
Cuando tenía
I can't
6.
believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Ok. Estuvo acá encerrado todo este tiempo,
I'm sure
traumatizado.
my mom was trying to protect me.
Seguro que mi madre intentaba protegerlo. Quedó traumatizado y nada, se quedó encerrado. No sé qué eran los temblores.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made, trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
Edith
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself
y la hija.
and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
Claro, ella no quería que sepa cómo murió
We
nadie.
believed so much in a family curse,
Exacto.
we made it real.
Walter. Pillas hay acá.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Quizás sería mejor si todo esto muriera conmigo. Claro, las historias como que...
But I thought you should know about your family.
cosas sobre tu familia. Como que le está escribiendo al hijo, ¿no?
And the history you're a part of.
La historia de la que formas parte. Claro, se sugestionaron todos cuando les contaban historias sobre la maldición de la familia, literalmente desde Odin.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Es cierto. El cementerio antes que la casa, tremendo.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Normal.
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Turpi, Durpi Junior, Purpi, Churpi, Furpi, Lurpi, Surpi. Tremendo los gerbos. Sombra. Oliver, Bob, Christopher, el pescado, que casi se come Molly.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Walter Finch, Bárbara Finch con su estrella. Eddie Finch. Sven. Constructor Calvin, el que se tiró con la hamaca. Y Molly.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Ah, claro. Odin era el padre, era el bisabuelo.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
¿Esta que es la casa que se hundió? Antes de que lleguen. Sí, ¿no?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Claro.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Lewis.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Claro. Perdió a Lewis y Milton, que desapareció,
We never
¿verdad?
found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Supongo, porque cuando sos chico no entendés nada. Y todas estas historias para reflexionar sobre la sugestión y la maldición familiar y cómo todos vivieron en torno a la muerte siempre. Mejor de adulto, ¿no?
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Cierto. No te vas a caer. Por favor.